All right, great little table with lots of concise information, many different pieces of information here. All right, so the scientific proof is very difficult to prove with today's technology. No direct forensic evidence of individual fertilized ovum death. It's very small, right? This fertilized ovum is very small. It's microscopic, and it is every bit as valuable and precious as you or me, right? This is a valuable developing human being, a baby boy or baby girl. The size doesn't matter, right? It's a microscopic size. However, the proof of death is difficult. It's not impossible. It's inconvenient and difficult, but it's not impossible. Um, so there's no direct and there's no direct forensic evidence of individual fertilized ovum death, only population level inference possible. The ethic is the ethical concern here is that intervention intentionally prevents potential human life from implanting, right? Um, it, shape potential human life. It is a human life, but what this means. So let's just clarify what that is. The fertilized ovum that would have otherwise been successful, a viable pregnancy that would have otherwise been successful, right? So it's not a potential human life. It is a human life, but it's just that it would have otherwise been successful. The pregnancy would have been developing naturally had it not been for this dirty pill here. Fiduciary duty. There's a clear breach of fiduciary duty. Prescribing a drug that may prevent life raises questions about honoring patients' interests and informed consent. Even if it does exactly like we believe so many people believe it does, that it never causes early abortion, right? It never does that. Even if we were to actually, if that were the case, it's still a clear breach of a fiduciary duty, right? Because it's not it's not a disease. We'll talk about that in a minute. A Hippocratic oath, a violation to do no harm. It's a violation of the Hippocratic oath. Do no harm. There's a clause in there about a pessary. They don't put a pessary in a woman. Don't put this thing to cause abortions. Um, so this is do no harm, includes preventing implantation of fertilized ova, intentional prevention of potential life, conflicts with classical interpretation. Medical necessity. It's not medically necessary, right? Birth control pills do not treat or correct any disease or medical condition. Disease treatment, none. There's no disease treatment. Natural fertility is not an illness, right? That needs to be corrected, right? Yeah. Now, the population impact is statistically almost certain that fertilized ova fail to implant across large population of pill users, right? So it's almost certain. Now, the individual impact is rare per person. Probability approaches zero with perfect use. However, it is not zero. It certainly is not zero. The legal proof. Difficult to prove individual fertilized ovum death legally or forensically. Evidence is statistical, not physical. Patient autonomy, potential ethical concern if patients are not informed about the implantation interference. Scientific consensus. Now, the consensus is that ovulation suppression is the main mechanism. Implantation interference is secondary and rare under perfect use. It's not zero. Moral considerations supports arguments that potential human life is intentionally terminated, debated in bioethics literature, right? So it's very clear, and it's almost certain that this baby is that is innocent, right? This is an innocent human life, an innocent baby, the baby that would have otherwise implanted, perfectly fine, and the baby that would have, otherwise been, you know, cured cancer, or, been a real doctor or something like that, but this innocent human life was taken. We like we it reminds me of like George Stinney. For example, it just came to my mind. You remember that guy? He did absolutely nothing wrong. He was put in the electric chair and he died. He put in the electric chair and he was it was a posthumous pardon, right? That he, the legal system actually, cleared his name and say, we're sorry for killing you, they honored him with not only an acquittal, like a real posthumous pardon, and so the legal system is not perfect, right? But the medical system sure ain't perfect either. What's going on here is that we have a very clear, this whole thing, right? This whole YouTube channel is dedicated to uncovering the evidence of the wrongdoing, right? So the evidence of the proof of death is very, very difficult to prove, but the evidence of the wrongdoing is clear. Everywhere I look, there's so sloppy, so very, very sloppy, everywhere I look. So this whole thing, right, reeks of breaches of some sort of you know it's a disrepute of the legal system. I don't trust doctors anymore. I mean, look what I have to deal with. I mean, it's really, really, it's just grotesque, this entire thing, right? But anyway, we got some really cool stuff here, like the ethics concerns, breach of fiduciary duty, Hippocratic oath violation. It's not medically necessary. What is the problem? Is the problem the natural, female fertility, or the baby? The baby itself is the problem. Whatever is the disease. What is the disease, right? Doctors are supposed to cure illnesses. That's the point, right? It's almost certain that one baby has died, right? One baby has died, but there's so many, right? So many babies have died, and they say it's very rare. It's rare that this happens. Is it? Yeah. We have to test it. And who are making these? Who are the ones conducting these tests anyway? It's the big pharmaceutical companies and those guys with the laboratories. Not the little guy like me. I'm just a normal person. I'm not some sort of a big. I don't have a budget, right? I don't have access to funding and things like that. How can I know this, right? I don't know that it's rare. I don't know that it's rare. It's certainly almost certain that this happened at least once. So how many times did it happen? It's a very, very it's an occurrence, right? It's a very a common occurrence, I do believe. But all this is in the air. How can we prove it? Well, there is a proof. It is difficult to prove, right? The legal proof of this whole thing is difficult to prove, but the ethics violation, fiduciary duty, Hippocratic oath, that is a slam dunk, right? But to actually prove the proof of death of the baby, right, to be able to sift through the menstrual blood and to let's say, for example, that's just not possible. I mean, you can't be expected to get that under today's technology, right? Maybe in the future you'll be able to have people that will develop technology that will understand the value of human life and all this stuff, right? I mean, there's no greater value. Right? There's nothing. The fertilized ova. This is the greatest and most valuable asset on the earth. The fertilized ova, right? The fertilized ova. Now, one fertilized ovum, like the baby boy, baby girl, right? This is a developing human. It's the most valuable, most precious asset on the earth. And statistically, almost certain that the fertilized ova failed to implant, right? Died because of this, right? That's serious. I'm not joking. This is real serious stuff. This is really, really, people dying, right? Oh, they can't feel that. There's no brain waves. They can't feel. So that's your justification for killing a developing human because your arbitrary, timeline of when you think that it's okay to kill them and all this stuff. You're you're a fool. You're a fool. There's nothing more valuable than a baby. There's nothing more valuable than a baby. Anyway, I'll see you. Take care. Have a nice one. Bye bye.